Hello and welcome to episode 13 of the Knitmancy Podcast. I am your host, Valentina, coming at you from West Virginia. So you can find me on social media as Middle of the Madness on Instagram and Knittermancer on Ravelry. My neighbors right over there are making noise and I can hear them through the wall. So today, because I am alone, not so weird, except for the neighbors. Today, since I am alone, I figured I would do a little bit of recording, because it looks like now we'll be on a bi-weekly schedule. So I have lots of whips. It's all good. I also have a couple of things I have acquired. There we go. Make it easy on myself. So yeah, let's go through that, and then we will see if I have any chit-chatty stuff at the end. So of course I will start with all of the goodies, and I'll do oldest to newest. We'll put it that way. Even though these things are almost done, I might as well show them because they're not done. So these are a pair of Rose City rollers, knit in Once Upon a Corgi La Dame Blanche, as well as Knit Picks Stroll in the Pea Pod colorway. And I'm sure you can tell the yarn is cut. I just need to Kitchener them, but I don't know if I have a darning needle. Darn. So these are actually going to sit here until I go home this weekend, and then I will finish them up. I'll set those back over there. And then the next thing, I think I showed this last time. It might have been just some ribbing or like the first repeat of the pattern, but I almost have a completed back for my Subterraneans cardigan by Hanson from the Interweave Knits Fall 2017 magazine. So I just have less than 2 inches to go. That's actually what my little J is there for. And if I could watch Outlander, I would say that this would be my Outlander knitting, but I currently cannot watch Outlander, so it is not. Probably stop a little bit sooner. I think I knit the bottom just right before the armholes, just slightly longer than the pattern actually calls for because I wanted to complete the repeat. And this is knit out of Cascade Heritage Sock. I'm sure I've got one of those yarn labels sitting around somewhere. Either way, it's the Cascade yarn sock, just like a regular sock, in the sapphire colorway, which is this bright blue. And I love that the argyle kind of is showing through. You can see it's a little bit see-through. That'll be a light sweater, a light cardigan. But yeah, it's got this really neat cable and stockinette, reverse stockinette argyle pattern on there. There, you can see it best. On that love it. Yes. This is the knitting I take with me everywhere to my classes. I shove it in my backpack and it travels with me. And between classes, especially because I have a lot of reading to do, I'll sit there and I'll prop my book open. I'll sit there and I'll knit. Or I'll knit before my class, just sitting there waiting. It's lovely. And that's really become my, like, moving around knitting one because my socks. I've not really wanted to knit the socks. Wanted to knit the sweater. And then last night I had decided, I have the yarn. And I will share what else is in here in a second. this is all yarn for a cardigan. And this is also from the Interweave Knits Fall. I'm really liking the patterns in there, as I probably have said last time. I can't remember what I said. But I am also knitting the Prairie Wind cardigan. Right? Yes. I have it written on a yarn label. This is how it's working. By Amy Gunderson. And this is all in Knit Picks Wool of the Andes. And I will run through the colors. Then we'll go into acquisitions or things I've acquired. It's easier for me to say. This will just all run in together because I acquired this yarn between the time of last podcast and now. So that's how we'll work it. So we'll slide into acquisitions. So my main color is chocolate. Hold up the ball. Chocolate. My contrast color 1, so I have to go through, is Dove Heather, which you can see in this part of the little pattern. Light kind of gray color. I really like this color, really. Contrast color 2 is Turmeric, which this pattern calls for 2 different yellows, and you're not really seeing the difference, but here's Turmeric, which I believe makes number 3 Bronze Heather. Yeah. Here's Turmeric, here's Bronze Heather. They are very similar. This one, like in person, this one is a smidge darker, and I think you can tell that they are just slightly different colors, which isn't showing up so well on here. Maybe it is. You see there's some of the Bronze Heather, whereas Turmeric is the main part of this little motif between Dove Heather. I'm actually in a section of Bronze Heather and the chocolate. I just actually finished a pattern repeat. Color 4, contrast color 4, which is in the box instead of in this drawer next to me. Is Bamboo Heather, which is green. And then contrast color 5 is Blackberry, which is purple. It's showing up pretty blue. And then do I have... Wait. No, that's not going to work. Wait. Let's see. Working my white balance here. Oh yeah, no. That just turned it really dark. That is a purple. Again, my white balance is just all sorts of screwed at the second. Straighten my stuff a little bit. Yes, purple. Which I have used in the center of the Dove Heather part of this motif. Yeah. Not that you can tell. It is... now it shows up. Oh, it's still showing very blue. Very similar in tone. It's like these two are very similar in tone, but they're not the same. Ugh. But that's what I have in this box. It's just the rest of the yarn for it. Yeah, you can just about see it all. Oops. As I throw it all over the place. There it is. But I think I had ordered this yarn before I went off to school. Then it arrived. And my ever so lovely grandparents delivered it for me when we celebrated my birthday. Which was the first weekend in September. Put a podcast out that Friday. I know that much because it was the first week of school. Oh, please stop falling off. But yes, that was this, and that very well puts us into things I've acquired, and I've only got one other thing. Go figure. But local to my school here in beautiful Shepherdstown, West Virginia. So there's a studio, an art studio, and one of the people who works in the art studio or dyes yarn and crochets, but mostly the big thing is dyes yarn. She also prints on some on tights, weird things. I say weird things, but they're not necessarily weird. It's kind of cool. I don't wear a lot of tights, although got stuff coming in. So I picked up local to Shepherdstown yarn, and the brand is Weenskein, Indie Dyer. I have the color Tokyo. I've not done this to it yet. This way we can explore it. And it's kind of got like rainbowy colors. And then gray. It smells a bit funny in speckles. Some white sections. Oh, it's so fun. So fun. And reasonable. Surprisingly reasonable. Considering the price of most indie dyers, and this was $18. I'll share the scoop with y'all. It was like $18 because we bought it in person from the art studio where they sell it. There was a yarn store in this town. Then I think it got new management and moved out to Charlestown. But yes, Weenskein in Tokyo. I'm thinking maybe a shawl, maybe a hat, and maybe some other thing that goes around my neck. I don't know, but I love these bright colors. I love the colors in it, and I love the colors with the gray. I just love this yarn. It's soft, it's squishy, it's the fingering weight base. Most of the yarn I noticed was like worsted weight and bulky, which is really cool to see from an indie dyer, and I would have liked that, but fingering weight I know I can do a lot of things with. It is superwash merino. 100 grams, 400 meters, 437 yards. Superwash merino, fingering weight, and Tokyo. I know I sort of showed off the tag, but it's got a little weenie dog on it, little dachshund. Weenskein. Pretty sure that's how you say it. Though I would say skein, but considering it's a weenie dog, Weenskein. That's been saying actually behind me, but I'll set him there. Yes. Okay, cool. So that was all of the nitty crafty stuff. I've not really done much else aside from that. So I'll move on to some chit chatty stuff. Let me just say I've got some stuff. I've got some things to talk about. I act like it's a ton of things. It's really not too many things. But it's some things. So I'll set that off because it's color work. So I guess I will talk about weird gaming stuff. Yeah, we'll talk about gaming stuff. Oh, as I fix my hair. There we go. We'll talk about gaming stuff, and then I have one other thing to really talk about. Yeah. Okay, cool. So, I play Pathfinder, I play video games, I played Dungeons and Dragons in the past. And of course, Starfinder came out, which is Pathfinder in space. So recently I've picked up the first part of the Starfinder adventure path, which is called Dead Suns, and I hope to run that soon. One prospective player is playing a literal Jedi. He got popular in a Facebook group for that. Although he would have never made it had I not been like, oh, we need to play Starfinder, guys. So, let me move yarn labels out of the way with all the letters, everything put together. And then, so a little bit of backstory. I've been saying, oh yeah, I want to game master a little bit. Somehow, by saying that, now I am stuck GMing for a game that starts on Halloween with my normal group of weirdos. The Starfinder adventure path with some of the similar folks. And then for a bunch of people from here around school, including one of my roommates, we are going to be playing Pathfinder. And this is blown up. First it started, okay, I told roommate, find 4 people, we'll play. No big deal. Either I'll find an adventure path, it won't be a problem. And Sean was like, oh, can I play? I was like, okay, cool. Now we had 5 people, and it was like, no big deal, okay, I think I can handle this. And Sunday, this last Sunday, I had printed out character sheets. I printed out 4 character sheets because I thought I'd only have 4 people needed to fill out character sheets. That's what I have here. There are 4 character sheets all filled out and ready to go for the most part. I need to fix the monk's armor class. And then another person joined in, so now instead of 5, we had 6. One of the people who originally was going to play was stuck doing homework, so lost their character sheet, so now I have to print out another one. And then somebody ended up messaging somebody else, and then we gained a 6th person. The 6th person didn't come to fill out the character sheets. That's 2 character sheets I have to print out. And then just today, I'm actually recording on Thursday instead of Friday. And then just today, roommate said, hey, I found another person who might want to play. I just realized that I had been saying 5th person. No, it would have been 6th person, 7th person. So now we're up to 8 players. And so I'm stressing. First time GM with 8 players. Awesome. Fortunately, I think for the most part, I just don't have enough adventure written out. Like, instead of this being choose your own adventure where I have certain plot points that have to happen, it's kind of really lax. So I think we can wing it and it will work out. I'm hoping anyway. Otherwise, I might have to just roll a dungeon and see what happens. In other gaming news, I got Tekken 7 and it's part of my birthday. And that was awesome, and I've been playing it and I love it. I think that was the quickest part of this whole thing. And then said I have something special coming up. Well, first I'll talk about, I do think that maybe, depending how things go, I might do this bi-weekly just to make it, or every other week just to make it a little bit easier and so that you can see a little bit more progress from me. I'll also discuss probably more Pathfinder-y D&D stuff as we go along and as I figure things out. I won't swear on that. If that were to happen, I might also stick more discussion stuff up on another channel, which is supposed to be for this gaming stuff. But we'll see. We will see. But I run those games Saturdays or Sundays. One of those 2 days. And then, the reason I'm recording this on Thursday and not a Friday is because Eve I might start recording on Wednesdays depending on when roommates are around. Because tomorrow, after I finish my classes, I'm going pretty much straight to Richmond. I'm stopping off briefly at home, and then on Saturday, it has been planned to go get a tattoo. Another one. I have my key here. There we go. But the plan is to go down to Richmond, hang out with my mom a little bit, and get a bee above my knee. 1 bee. I want 2. We're going with 1 to start with. And we're going to see how that turns out, and hopefully that all goes well. And we don't have to run around too much and try to find somebody. We have a planned place where we want to go, and hopefully we can just kind of walk in and do that. We'll be fine. But I think that's really all I have to say. So I'm going to call it good for today. And hopefully I'll see you next time we do this thing. And until then, I hope you are well and, have a good 2 weeks. All right. So, bye guys.